What is up, Patreon? Just a lot of the stuff that I make is pretty polished now. We're working on just making the Instagram, the YouTube, all that stuff, highly edited, all that stuff. And so I wanted to have a space to be able to just kind of like vibe and chill and talk. The Will that you might have ran into, years ago, where we just kind of ramble and vibe out. I figured this might be the best spot for this, as you guys have shown extra love. You've enjoyed all the good, delicious content, and you've voted. You've raised your hand and said, you know what, I actually want to hang out with Will more. So I think this might be a better position or better way for me to give a more authentic, just raw vibe with Will. So I'm going to be making these often. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Just a few things that I've been working on lately that we can just kind of talk about for a minute. Let's see. So building out the YouTube channel. It's been a hot mess, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with what I'm looking to do with my YouTube channel. And what I realized after playing a lot of chess is that you're gonna lose a lot, and then you start to win, and then you start to win a lot. And what I mean by that is that if you count like your first attempt as the last attempt, like you're not going to make the progress, you're not going to really move forward. And so, oh, we haven't done this in a while, we haven't zoomed in a while, uh-oh, but watch out. What I realized with business as a CEO, as a creative director, is that like progressing is the whole point. And so instead of getting locked into your past results that you made happen, or past games that you won, but now you're not winning a lot, or seeing your greatest hits, because this is me, using, boop, 1 second, using like your greatest hits as like your badge of honor forever, it just handicaps you. You know what I mean? And so I think I've committed myself now to each day pretty much creating a new portfolio piece, going through the motions, all that stuff, and then working on making it the best, better than the last. And with the YouTube channel, like, there's just a lot of stuff that might be good for here, right? Might be good for, if you know me, you're willing to hear the rants, you're willing to just kind of chill, hang out, stuff like that. You throw it on in the car, we're here. Not to say we don't want to provide value. I think this provides value too, but if it's your first take, your first glimpse into like the Will Mosley world, like there's so much more that I can do to make it concise and very well put together, so that you then do stick around for later. And so coming back to kind of the chess analogy of winning and losing, is like I've often stopped because I've either one, burnt out, two, I was like, there's something else that I could be doing. I want to go this direction. I want to go this direction. I want to da-da-da-da-da. Your social media, it really is a representation. It is your reputation. Like, it's a representation of you, and it's also your reputation. Like, when I'm out in the street and someone's like, hey, what do? You can talk about it, but like, if you don't want to send them to your Instagram, like, there's a reason why you don't want to send them to the Instagram. You're like, it's not that great. It doesn't represent me that well, or it's kind of all over the place. And so I've just taken that time, that moment, that space to say, okay, every work that I put out is going to be better than the last, and it also is going to be, there's a quality tier that I want to hit, which means that I'm going to put out less work, right? But that does mean that it's more valuable per piece, and so that when a stranger comes along to my YouTube channel or to my TikTok or whatever, they're like, huh, okay, got it. I'll leave all of the not so polished stuff for like Patreon and hanging out and chilling, because I think I love doing this stuff. I love talking about my day-to-day, but this day-to-day talk doesn't exactly fit on my second channel either. And what I mean by that is, I guess we'll come to the second part, another part of this, is I thought for a long time about like, what should the main channel be? Like, what do I do with the main channel? And I'm still kind of pondering this a little bit. And then I love vlogging, and you guys probably know that the vlog was the main channel. But now I kind of talk more about CEO and creative and tech and clearing your backlog, stuff like that. Things of how to make that happen for yourself on the main channel. And with the vlog, I've always, if you've been following for a long time, I've always loved, just the Casey Neistat feels. Like right now, Ryan Trahan, I'm following the 50 States in 50 Days series, and I've always loved the heart of that. But I also, in addition to that, I love cinematography. I love movies. And so I get into this bit of trap, right, where it's like, I could go hard and make a whole bunch of vlogs, right? But the quality of each of those vlogs, is it really my best work? And so when I come to think about that, it's like more of the lines of like, I want to build a series, and I think I'm good with a series, right? Where there's a hook at the end and all that stuff. I want to kind of really go in on that. And this talking head stuff is none of that, right? It's just more of my raw thoughts. It's more like a log, not like a video log. It's just kind of chilling. So I figured this would be the best spot for these talks. And at first I also thought maybe this goes for the podcast, but maybe not. Maybe it's like a secret podcast, but probably not. Because again, someone's first glimpse into my universe, a stranger, like, I want them to get instant value. And instant value a lot of times is talking about a lot about their pains, right? And talking about what we can do for them. This is more internal will thoughts, which can be helpful for people. I hope you find this helpful. But there's a straighter way into the vein when you're public facing. It's kind of like you have your public facing, you got your private. Like when you're at home, you're talking about these kind of things, but in your public, you're a little bit more put together. You're putting your best first impression. You can joke around with your wife and say, whatever things with her, but you may not say that same thing to a stranger because they might just not get it. They haven't been in your world enough. They don't get it. And so you guys are in my world. You guys are here. And so we can laugh, we can talk, we can chill, we can comment, we can do our thing. We just let loose. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. We can let loose, we can hear, we can hang out. And I love that. Last couple things, and then I need to get to finishing up a portfolio piece. Doing Facebook ads, using Loom to record daily work sessions. Yes. Designing client collateral. Yep. Going to the gym most mornings. I actually haven't been going to the gym most mornings. The gym is a habit that I've already put into my life. And so I love going to the gym. So it's not one of those things that I worry about, like it actually dropping off a cliff and me never doing it. Right now I'm more prioritizing like creating portfolio pieces that just stop you in your tracks. You're like, holy shit. Like, oh, whoa, whoa. And then spending, and let's see, last one is really spending intentional family time. My schedule has changed a bit, and I think it's changed for the best or for the better. Right now, there's two different types of this schedule, so use whichever one works best for you. I call it the 4-6s. So you've got sleep for 6 hours, or however long you need to sleep for, okay? But from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. sleep, and then from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., that's your deep work. This is this stuff right here. This is you doing the things that push the needle forward, the stuff that, the goals, the stuff that you're really trying to make happen. 6 hours on that. And then from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., that's when you do like your regular workday stuff, like making income and cash flow, stuff like that. I supplement with doing like creative hourly, like my business work, because it's supply and demand. I supplement that with Walmart delivery stuff. And I find that work has the best perfect balance for me, because it gives me the freedom. I can in and out, whatever. I'm not like, it works really well for me. So from 12 to 6 that time, and then from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., that's like family, friend, hanging out time, and I find that like it gives the best balance, or at least for me. Now, I have changed this a bit. I've altered this a little bit. Everything is the same aside from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I merge my doing stuff for the future, like my deep work, with the getting work done for today. And I say that by saying pretty much I work a 12-hour shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I have for daily income, I have a certain amount of orders that I'll only accept, right? So that means that probably 50% of the time, or roughly 50% of the time, those orders, because there's lower orders, are not, there, trying to articulate myself. But that also means that because I'm in the marketplace for 12 hours, the chances of me hitting and getting those really amazing orders throughout that 12-hour span versus 6-hour span is much higher. And I've found this to be true. And so I'll work on all my deep work, but as soon as there's an actual order that hits that threshold, I'll pause that, start doing it, come back, and then I'll do all my deep work until I get another one, which means that I'm completely on at all times. Because in a sense, you can technically not be on if you do it the other way, right? I work for my 6 hours of deep work, which is really important, perfect. But then, let's say I then go and work from 12 to 6, but let's say there's not that many orders kind of popping through that span. I'm maybe not getting paid as much money in that 6-hour block versus that 12-hour block of span that kind of covers a little bit of that supply demand kind of issue. So that's what I'm doing. So really it's just 3 things now. In a sense, it's sleep, deep / income generation from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then family time from 6 p.m. to 12. And it's literally doubled my income, my regular income, not the business income. Business income's going up too, but it's doubled that. And it's also just, I don't know, it feels good. It feels good. All right, enough of this talk. This will be one of the first videos that just kind of go up on Patreon. We're not going to worry about trying to edit or do anything special. This is more the Will rant if you're down for the vibe. There will be plenty more other types of things that will probably come to the Patreon. But for now, this is what I think I can give to you guys. It's completely different than everything else that you're probably seeing on the internet that's in the Will Mosley universe. All right, love you guys. Thank you for your support. Take care. Bye.